Now that I finished painting, it's time to update the orange wood in my house. And I'm going to start small with these rails. To prep the wood for primer, I'm using some 3M Pro Sandpaper. It sands quickly and it has a grippy backing that makes it easy to hold. To fill gaps, cracks, and holes in wood, I use FamoWood wood filler. It's easy to use, it dries quickly, and it sands really well. It's also easy to clean up. Now these big flat surfaces are easy to sand, that's not a big deal. These little in the corner, that's a lot harder to deal with, so I'm going to try and get most of that out of there. Now I don't have to get all of the old finish off, but I do want a nice smooth surface to apply the bonding primer. Now I took a couple of scraps and put some nails through them. And after I spray the bottom, I'm going to flip it up, rest it like this so I can then right away spray the sides and the top. And I can get one coat without having to wait for the bottom to dry before I flip it. I'm using the Stix Binding Primer. That's my go-to primer. And I'm going to be spraying with my Graco TC Pro airless. This is also the same thing as the Graco Ultra. I'm going to be using an FFLP 210 spray tip, which is a 4-inch fan pattern at about a foot, and it's a 10 thousandths of an inch orifice. So that works well for this Stix bonding primer. Now with this TC Pro airless sprayer, I don't have to thin the Stix primer. I can just spray it right out of the can. Additional thing that you don't want to forget to do is to put your filter in the inlet port. This will prevent crap from getting into your pump. And actually, before we start spraying, it is important to know these airless guns, what I find is that there's a lot of overspray. And even with the FFLP spray tips, I still find overspray is a problem. So anything that you care about that's on the other side of what you're spraying, you probably want to cover up now. I don't want to prime my table saw, so I'm going to use some of this. Now, if you're interested in spraying, I do have a bunch of spraying videos on my site covering both the airless, this TC Pro, TC Ultra, and also my Fuji Semi-Pro 2, which is a different technology. It's HVLP. But in either case, when you're spraying, you want to make sure that you're using something to protect your eyes and your lungs. So you want a respirator and you want to have some decent vapor filters. So now that the primer's dry, I can give it a quick smoothing sand with one of these 3M fine sanding pads. These fit right onto the rail like your hand would, so I can just make sure that that's got a nice smooth finish to it. And you can see that creates a really fine dust. The Stix bonding primer, that's one of the reasons I really like it, is it sands up to a very smooth finish, and it sands really well, so it doesn't clog up my sandpaper or sanding pads, and it gives you just a silky smooth finish. A damp paper towel picks up any of the dust left behind by my shop vac. So I'm going to be spraying this Sherwin-Williams Emerald Trim Enamel, and this stuff is really nice. It dries super hard. It's silky smooth. This is a semi-gloss. So the first coat of emerald trim enamel looks amazing. I really like this. It's super soft. The finish feels very good. I did screw up on this area down here. It was when I had the rail upside down. I can't tell if that's showing up. It definitely is. When dealing with runs, I like to start with a razor blade or chisel to get rid of the bulk of the paint wave. Then I'll use sandpaper and sanding sponges to smooth out the area. And finally, I add a very light coat of whatever I'm spraying, using a foam brush to blend in the area. Well, that'll wrap up the first bite of my orange wood elephant. A little bit of sanding, 2 coats of Stix primer, 2 coats of emerald urethane trim enamel, and a much improved handrail. I hope you found something useful in the video, and you'll consider giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.